Hello everyone, welcome to my channel World of AWS. I hope you all are doing good. So we are continuing with Terraform tutorial, and in this video we are going to discuss about dynamic block in Terraform. Okay, so in many of the use cases there are repeatable nested block that needs to be defined. Okay, this can lead to a longer code and it can be difficult to manage a longer time. Okay, it will take longer time to manage the long code, right? So suppose you need to whitelist 100 of port whenever you are working on real-time project. Okay, so what you gonna do, you gonna define this kind of section block to whitelist all of 100 ports. That is not like correct or ideal way. Okay, so what you can do, instead of defining in the generic way like 100 block for 100 ports, okay, so what you can do, you can use dynamic block, okay, like this. So dynamic block allow us to dynamically construct repeatable nested block which is supported inside resource data provider and provisioner block. So where you can use the dynamic block under resource, under data block, under provider block and the provisioner block. Okay, so this is the generic way that we can define the the port which we need to whitelist in the security group, right? But this is the advanced way that as a DevOps engineer you should know how to use dynamic block, and instead of writing 100 section of code, okay, to whitelist each IP, you can directly go and use the dynamic block and you can whitelist all the IP in one go, okay, using the dynamic block. Okay, so let's go ahead and see it practically in the both way. Okay, so I have here main.tf and I have defined the region here. Now let's define the resource. AWS underscore security underscore group, right? I will give it name as test-sg. Okay, and name here I will give YouTube, sorry, put it in the double quotes, YouTube test, okay, -sg, and in this block only we have to define the ingress rule. Okay, so ingress, so if you use here equal to, and if you are adding multiple ports here defining the ingress rule, it will not take. Okay, so let me show you that. Okay, if I defining here like this, and from port, so it's not coming, right? Sorry, from port it's not coming automatically, so this is not the ideal way. Okay, and let me define it first so that you can understand it. From port is equal to 8080 to port, it was coming to underscore port, okay, is equal to 8080 and protocol is equal to TCP, okay, and then after that what we have to define, CIDR blocks underscore blocks, remove s from here, and is equal to square bracket double quotes and 0.0.0.0/0, right? And suppose I am going to define in the same way for another port, it will not take. So let me show you. As you can see here, if we put our cursor here in the on the ingress rule, so what it's saying, attribute redefine, the argument ingress was already set at main.tf line number 8. Okay, each argument may be set only once in Terraform, right? So as you can see here at the 8 line number 8 we have defined this, right? So what instead of this, what we can do, we have to remove the equal to from here so that we can define multiple ports, right? So there is some mistake here, so let's use the protocol and TCP, okay, and remove the protocol here as well from TCP and TCP, right? So I am going to define some more port here. I will change and okay, so we have defined 4 port, and let me rename this port now 22 and 22 here, and here I will define 443 and 8081, okay, 8081. Let me save this, okay. So as we can see, we have defined 4 blocks to whitelist 4 ports of our security group, right? So let's save this and run Terraform init. Let me scroll little bit up here, okay. So Terraform init is ran successfully. So now what we have to do, we have to run Terraform plan. So let's see. Okay, so let's go ahead, and as you can see, plan 1 to add, and what it will do, let's scroll little bit up. So it will create the security group, that name will be 𝗬𝗎𝗪-test.sg that we have defined, okay, and whatever port it's going to whitelist 8081, 8080 and 443 and 22, right, 22. So these ports are going to whitelisted in our security group. So let me apply it -auto -approve, right? So let's run it to create our resources. And this is the generic way that we are saying how we can define multiple ports. So once it's done, we are going to see in the dynamic way, okay. We are going to use dynamic block, and we are going to whitelist all the ports in one go, okay. We don't have to define this kind of block for each port, okay. So as you can see here, plan 1 to add, and it created the security group. So let's go to the AWS account and let's verify this, okay. As you can see here in the network and security, we have security group option. Go here, and as you can see, 𝗬𝗎𝗪-test-sg security group is created, right. So let's go to the inbound rule and see what are the ports that get opened. So as you can see, 443, 8080, 8081 and 22 port are whitelisted in our security group that having name 𝗬𝗎𝗪-test.sg, right. So how we can achieve the same way using dynamic block and in one go? So let me create one file, dynamic.tf, okay. So let me minimize this little bit. So for this we have to define variable first, okay. and variable name will be allowed ports. Okay, sorry, allowed underscore ports, right? So, and the type, what type will be this variable? This will be list and the number. Okay, because we are going to use the number 8080 is the number, right? Whatever port number is there, that is a number, and we are also going to define in the list way, right? So, default, and what port we need to whitelist? 8080, 808122 and 443, right? So, this all port we want to whitelist, right? So, now we have to define the security group, AWS security group, sorry, this is the wrong. So, let me comment this section here, okay, and let me comment this, and let me copy the same name here, so that I can show you it's going to create the new AWS security group, or it will update in the same approach. Okay, that I want to explain. So, we have defined the resource with the same name, right? And in the main.tf, whatever we have apart from provider section, we have commented everything, right? So, now what will we use? Will be doing, will be defining the dynamic block. Okay, so dynamic, okay, and ingress, and here we have to define the for each and the variable, okay, var dot allowed ports, okay, and then after that what we have to define? We have to define the content, okay, content, and what content we have? From port, that is ingress dot value, okay, and to port is equal to ingress dot value, and protocol will be TCP and CIDR, right? CIDR blocks, and that will be under double quotes 0.0.0 and .0/0, right? We want to whitelist all the IP. So, let me remove some extra spaces from here. Okay, now it looks pretty fine, right? So, we have defined first dynamic block, that is egress, okay, we have defined in the same way, right? Ingress, so we have to define the ingress here, okay, ingress rule, okay, and for each var allowed port we have defined the variable here. From here we are fetching the all port, right? For all port it will create like different kind of inbound rule, okay, using for each meta argument, okay, and in the content whatever things we want to define from, like as we have defined here in the ingress rule, right? So, we have to use the same here. So, from port ingress dot value, whatever value it will fetch from here, like first value, okay, then the second value, then the third value, and then the fourth value, okay. So, it will do in the same way, right? And the CIDR, that is fixed for our case. We are using 00, we are allowing all the IP address, okay, to make request, okay. So, let me save this and let's run Terraform apply-auto approve. So let's see what it's saying. There is some duplicate resources AWS security group configuration on main.tf resource AWS security group test sg, right? As you can see, main.tf line number 5. So main.tf line number 5, it's saying the resource from here that have been already created and a security group name tester is already created at the dynamic resource name must be unique or is in the module. So as you can see, if we go to the our Terraform state file, so AWS security group, the type is name test -sg and with the same configuration it's already created. So let me delete this. So I have deleted the Terraform state file. Now let's run Terraform auto approve. So to see whatever resource our Terraform script is going to create using the dynamic block. So let's wait for some more time. As we can see, it's going to create the resources again because Terraform does not have the state file. So let's review what is the error here. Creating security group U2 operation error, EC to security HTTP response code request ID API error, invalid group duplicate the security group U2 already exists, right? So it's saying the security group that we have created that is already exists. So what we can do, we can go ahead and we can delete this security group. As you can see, we don't have any security group now. So let's go ahead and run Terraform apply, because we want to use the dynamic block and we want to create the security group and we want to whitelist this port in the security group inbound rule. So as you can see, it's creating the resources, right? As we have deleted our security group manually. So instead of that, you can also do it using Terraform destroy command. So as you can see, apply completed and it's created a security group. So let's go to the AWS and verify it as well. As you can see, YouTube test -sg, we have created this security group using the dynamic block. So let's explore whatever port it allowing in the inbound role. As you can see, it allowing 8081, 8080, 22 and 443. And the source is 0 as we have defined in the dynamic block section. So this is how we can use the dynamic block to make our Terraform configuration more dynamic and easy readable, and short in the form. So we can, instead of using this much long code, we have just defined the 2 block and that's it. We have whitelisted all the port. Suppose if any new request came that you need to whitelist any other port, then what you can do, you can just add the port here like 5050 or something, any number of port you want to whitelist, you can go ahead and you just have to add the port number here. Instead of, if you are following this way, then you have to define the block one new block for each of the port. So this is not the ideal and the best way whenever you are working in the real time project. So you always have to use the dynamic block to whitelist like of security group port. Okay, so whatever security group port you want to whitelist, so anyone can directly come here, and with the minimal change they will be able to achieve whatever things are required. So that's it for this video. I hope you found this video informative and helpful. If you have any query regarding this video, then do let me know in the comment section, and do not forget to subscribe my channel. And if you are new to my channel, then do check out my other playlist as well. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.